Welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. My name is Carolyn Stern, and I oversee outreach initiatives at CHC. Thank you for joining us. As many of you know, Center for Hearing Communication, or better known as CHC, is a nonprofit hearing health agency that was established since 1910. CHC has a wide range of pertinent services for people of all ages and all degrees of hearing loss. And we're passionate about helping our clients and families live successfully with hearing loss. So today's series, called CHC Experts, provides information from our skilled and seasoned professionals that will help you learn ways to navigate life with hearing loss. Today's event will focus on how to live successfully and safely in the home with a hearing loss. Our presenter today is Terrence Williams. Let me tell you a little bit about Terrence. Terrence is our Director of Assistive Technology and the Assistant Director of the Burleson Hearing Technology Center. He is a hearing instrument specialist with more than 25 years of experience, and he works with all different types of hearing devices. His technical expertise is invaluable in a variety of areas, such as repair, testing, and fitting of hearing aids, as well as ongoing follow-up care and counseling. Additionally, Terrence is very fluent in assistive listening and alerting technology that helps people who are deaf or hard of hearing be safe and communicate better. So we're in for a real treat to have Terrence as our guest speaker today. One last thing. I'm excited to share that our Director of Audiology, Michele DiStefano, will be joining us and facilitating the Q&A at the end of the session. So stick around for great additional information. So now I'm going to hand it over to Terrence to present to you our first CHC Hearing Expert Series on home safety and hearing loss. Go ahead, Terrence.
As Carolyn mentioned, my name is Terrence. Thank you very much for coming to the first in our CHC Expert Series. We've been looking very forward to beginning this series, and I'm happy to be here with you today to talk about assistive listening devices. The idea of these devices are mainly to keep safe at home when you have your hearing aids on or off, or if you just need some help to be alerted to specific details. All right, next slide. Talk a little bit about our agenda today. Center for Hearing and Communications was established in 1910, primarily for mental health and safety for the hard of hearing. With this in mind, we are always looking for new ways to keep safe while hearing impaired. Today, we will talk about analog, easy-to-install solutions for keeping safe at home. We'll also discuss apps and other technologies we think are also helpful. Next slide. Listening for doorbells, smoke alarms, and other alerts can be difficult for people who are hard of hearing or deaf. With safety in mind, we need assistive technology to compensate for what we cannot hear on our own. Hearing loss makes it difficult or impossible to hear typical alerting methods that use audio and sounds such as chimes, bells, ringing, horn sounds. Today, we're going to talk about examples of different types of alerting solutions for people with hearing loss. Those solutions alert a person with hearing loss either by making a sound louder or getting the attention of the person through sight, such as flashing light, or tactile devices such as vibration. Next slide. Sound intensity decreases rapidly as you move away from the sound source. As sound waves travel, they spread out over a large area, similar to how water waves spread out when a drop of water falls in a pond. The droplet entry represents the sound source. Sound waves lose energy due to obstacles in its path, like walls or furniture. This all contributes to the overall decrease in intensity of the sound wave as it travels. Okay, next slide. This is an image of an audiogram, which is the graph used to show how hearing levels. The shaded area is called the speech region. Across the frequency range, that is where speech tends to live. So in that shaded area is where we typically experience speech and where speech sounds occur. The left axis represents sound intensity, or the level at which sound is presented to evaluate hearing, from 10 dB to 120 decibels. The top axis represents frequencies, pitches from low frequency to high frequency, and to the right of the audiogram are the descriptives of the level of hearing. Further down, farther sounds, the farther a sound travels, the softer it is perceived. In a typical apartment in New York City, if you're in your bedroom and someone knocks on the door, that door knock might be maybe 80 or 90 decibels. From the audiogram, you can see 90 decibels is as loud as a lawnmower and is pretty far down on the graph. Depending on the size of your apartment, the sound wave may have to travel about 90 or 100 feet or more to reach your bedroom. The sound spreading out on the wave continues to dissipate about 2 decibels each 3 or 4 feet that it travels, meaning that by the time the sound gets from the sound source, the door knocking, to the bedroom, that sound can go from 90 decibels to about 40 decibels, which is pretty soft speech sounds and would be hard for even a person with typical hearing to hear. If you have a hearing loss, it's very likely that you would not hear that sound even with your hearing aids on, as that sound would be pretty soft. The original door knock distance we talked about would definitely not rouse most people, let alone those with a hearing loss. So if you're sleeping and someone knocks on your door at night and you don't have your hearing aids on, it's probably a good chance you're not going to hear that door knock. Sorry. So there are many devices and many companies that make assistive listening technology. One of my favorite go-to companies is a company called Sonic Alert. And this system is a home alerting device system, and it can come in a package. Sonic Alert is a company that has been in business of assistive devices for many years. And they have been a helpful partner when it comes to finding unique solutions for our clients. Each client needs are slightly different, and having a system that is expandable and flexible is important. Let's go over some of the details now of these specific devices that you see on your screen. We have the main unit, which is an alarm clock. It's alarm clock that has a strobe light in it. You can also attach a shaker to it. This device will act as a receiver to the other devices that you may install in the home. So there is a doorbell button that you can place on the outside of the door, and when depressed, it will alert the alarm clock that someone's at the door, either by flashing a light or by using that vibrating device there to shake. So when the doorbell is pressed again, the shaker can shake your bed for you. There are also other transmitters. This particular transmitter is called a sound sensor and can pick up the sounds of loud sounds in the home or even softer sounds in the home that can be also transmitted to your alarm clock to shake the bed, excuse me, when that device is triggered. You can also connect your smartphone to the device so that if your smartphone rings, you'll be able to be alerted to that as well. If you indulge me for a moment, I have a quick video to show you how this particular system can work and some other devices that are available through Sonic Alert.
HomeAware, a unique total home alerting solution from Sonic Alert, offers peace of mind, security, safety, convenience, and greater independence. HomeAware can be configured to match the needs of your household with many available packages and convenient features. Many standard features are included, like dual alarms with 105 decibel volume and a vibrating alarm, also known as the bed shaker, for an extra wake or the ability to wake without disturbing others. And there are many more, all with a choice of receivers with a 2-inch scrolling display and bright strobe. HomeAware is totally configurable. Basic and deluxe receivers can be combined and communicate uninterrupted up to 1,000 feet, connecting you to your surroundings with continuous monitoring of transmitters for doorbell, baby cry and other noises, smoke and carbon monoxide, motion sensors, smartphones, alerting you to text messages, emails, and phone calls, even acting as a receiver to alert you to what's happening on the main unit and other connected receivers. Our colorful and convenient portable strobe alert, Blink. And the HomeAware Vibe, to clip on and go anywhere in the house or yard. With HomeAware, all of these safety and security features are continuously monitored to ensure your peace of mind and comfort. HomeAware. Stay connected.
Basic idea of any of those devices are to eliminate the need for you to rely on your hearing in order to be alerted to the doorbell, telephone, smoke detector, or any other device that you might need warning to hear. Very often, I don't know why this seems to be, but if there's ever an emergency, it always seems to happen in the middle of the night. And it's a good idea, if you need to be alerted in these circumstances, that you don't need to rely on your hearing. We know that sound, that when you're asleep, it takes louder sounds to rouse you from that sleep, and having these devices available so that you don't need to rely on your hearing, I think is very important. So let's go to the next slide. Nope, sorry, you're already there. All right, so another company with easy to install solutions is called Bellman Symfon. The devices we see here are a bed shaker that you can attach to your cell phone. This is good for traveling or for wake-up alarms. And the other system is called a baby cry notification system. This system is, all these systems are expandable and can be used together or separately. The idea of the baby cry system is maybe you're a parent and you have a child in the room, sleeping in another room, and you want to hear if the baby is crying or fussy. You'd be able to use this device to be able to be alerted that the child is making noise so that you can go and check on it. Let's see. I also like the Bellman Symfon devices because, again, of its expandability and its easy use. Most of the devices can just simply be plugged into the wall or have battery backups. Like, for example, if you can see me, this device is the portable receiver that can be carried from room to room in the house. It can also be connected to a doorbell. So here's a doorbell transmitter. This transmitter would go outside of the door, and when the button is pressed, the device will make a sound and a light will flash. Okay. You can also add a bed shaker to it so that you can attach the shaker to the device or to another receiver. And anytime the doorbell goes off, the shaker will go off as well. Okay. They also make a device that's called a sound pickup. And that sound pickup device, you can actually record sounds in your home. And I like that device a great deal because very often in New York City, especially, we have intercom systems, and intercom systems aren't typically integrated into alerting devices like this. With that device, you'd be able to record the sound of your intercom. And when somebody pressed your intercom button downstairs, it would be able to alert you to that device as well. Go to the next slide. Another issue that we've come across and people are curious about and need help with is the sound of running water. Not hearing the water running from a faucet is an extremely common and dangerous issue for people with hearing loss, especially in the home. Typically, hearing aids are off when this happens, but many of us have examples of when this has happened in our own home. So I'll give you for an example. I have a hearing loss myself. It is a high frequency hearing loss, and running water sometimes sounds odd to me if I don't have my hearing aids on. So I don't typically recognize it. And someone can turn on the faucet in the kitchen and I might not realize that the water is running and the sink was stopped up, and then all the water came running out into the floor and did not notice until I happened to walk into the bedroom. So here are some solutions that you can have in your home so that you know if there's water running someplace in the house. Let's see, where am I? All right, so these are some devices that will alert you to let you know when water is running. This is so common. Many examples out there. These products are available and have LED. You can have LED lights to let you know when the water is running. You can also have a sound pickup so that it will tell you when the water is running, and you can get receivers for all the faucets in the house that can be Bluetooth to your phone, so that you'd be alerted on your phone if the water is left running. All right, let's go to the next slide. So these are just some resources we have where you are able to go and research what devices might be most beneficial to you. As we mentioned, everybody's needs are unique and different. And so the best idea is to find out what works best for you. There are many companies out available that can help with that. Center for Hearing Communication being one, and all of the companies that we've listed here, their websites, everyone is very helpful and very happy to help you find solutions for your needs. So with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for coming to today's expert series. And I think, Carolyn, we should open it up for some Q&A.
I'm Michele DiStefano, the Director of Audiology at CHC. Thank you very much, Terrence, for all that information.
I see a question from Shanton Duncan, who asked, does insurance cover any of these assistive devices? And the short answer is no, unfortunately. Assistive technology like this is typically not covered by insurance. Any assistive devices are considered, I guess, luxury items and are not medically necessary, and therefore are not covered by insurance.
Another question that we have, which is very important, is do I need Wi-Fi for any of these alerting systems to work properly? So do I need internet or Wi-Fi?
You do not. That is the beauty of these devices, as they're pretty much plug and play. They use radio frequency to send transmissions from the transmitter to the receiver. So there's no computer connections unless you want to maybe get a device that can pair to your phone. And then in which case, it would just be a Bluetooth pairing. So no Wi-Fi, no internet is necessary to use any of the devices we talked about today.
Yes, there's a very cool travel Bluetooth alarm clock that can pair by Bluetooth to an app. on your phone. So we have another question that says, do I need to
I don't
change
see the
any
question.
existing devices like a doorbell or phone at home to make these devices work?
I'm sorry, can you ask that again?
Sure. Do I need to change any existing doorbell or phone at home in order to make any of these assistive devices work?
So if you, I think the question is, can you integrate this into your existing doorbell? Is what I'm getting from that question. So
Correct. It
you
sounds like, do you need to change anything you already have to make
right,
it work?
and you don't really. You can add to what's existing. So remember, I mentioned that there is a device from Bellman Symfon that can record a sound, and then when that sound is heard, it can send a transmission to your receivers. So if you have a doorbell, a mechanical doorbell, for example, and you want to be alerted to that specific doorbell, you put the transmitter next to that doorbell, hit a button to record that sound, and then the next time that sound is heard, it will send transmissions to receivers throughout the home to let you know that someone's at the door.
And then here's another question that is helpful. How can I be alerted if I'm not in the same room as the device is set up?
So that is again, the portable receiver. So this receiver can travel throughout the space with you. You can take, I'm sorry, the camera is backwards. You can take the device with you from room to room so that you don't have to buy multiple receivers, or you can buy multiple receivers to have in each space if you don't want to carry one around with you. It's one of the key features of Bellman that I like. Especially this portable receiver, because you can't take it from room to room.
And also, like for the baby alert, the cry alert, they also make pagers, just so you know too, that you could always carry around.
Yes.
And hold on, let me just see another question we may have. How do I know if these devices will work with my existing hearing aids? Did we ask that already? Did I ask that already? No.
I don't think so, no. Well, the whole idea of these devices is that you shouldn't rely on your hearing aids, and most of them do not attach to your hearing aids. The idea is that we don't want you relying on your hearing in order to be alerted to things like the doorbell. So most of these systems are designed to be a visual alert or a vibrotactile alert, so that you don't have to use your hearing aids. You don't even have to have your hearing aids on. But some of them do make sound, like this portable receiver, for example, makes a sound, and it has a knob on the top here to adjust the loudness level. So if you have your hearing aids on and you want to just use the sound, you can, and then you'll be able to hear it through your hearing aids. But there's no connection between the hearing aid and the assistive device.
And here's another one that says, can these devices or systems be moved if I relocate or go to stay with family or when traveling?
Absolutely. Another key feature of all the devices we talked about today is that they are pretty much plug and play. And I don't mean plug and play as in a computer. Thank you. I mean, as in, you plug them into the power supply, the power outlet, your electricity, and then they work. So once you plug them in, they work. When you unplug them, they don't. And then you get to your new place, you plug it in, and it'll work.
And then what happens during a power outage? Will these alerting devices still work?
There are battery backups in the devices. Right now, this portable receiver is not plugged into any wall. Actually, I do have a bed shaker plugged into it, but there's no power supply because it has a battery backup. So you got 4C batteries in here, and it will work as long as the batteries do.
And how do I make sure the devices are working properly over time? Is there anybody that helps maintain them? Is there anything I can do to make sure that they're still functioning similar to like a typical smoke detector?
There are test buttons on all the devices so that you can make sure that they're working. This one right here, I don't know if you can see it, but and some of the devices will even alert you when the battery is low by changing the LEDs to different colors. It just depends on the device that you get.
So it'll blink or it will indicate it on the device? if it's
Yeah, on
getting
some
low?
of them, it has a little LED light that will glow orange when the battery is starting to get low. But from what I was reading, especially in the Bellman Symfon devices, most of those batteries will last several years, and they're just regular batteries. So you probably wouldn't need to change the battery for three or 4 years.
Sounds good. How do I know if it will work with my existing phone?
Well, it's designed to work with. So do you mean a landline phone? I'm sorry, I don't know who's asking that
So
question.
if you're doing like a phone alerting system, do they tell you it works with only certain models? It sounds like what they're asking, or does it
Um,
work for everything?
no, it'll work with any landline phone that you have. And as far as cell phone devices, there are Bluetooth transmitters that you can purchase to connect these devices to your cell phone. So if you're in the home and something goes off, let's say the doorbell, you can get a transmitter that's Bluetooth so that it will send a signal to your phone.
Um, and then this isn't a question, but just because I think it's cool, I'm going to ask you, Terrence. Can you
Okay.
explain a little bit also about, I know Bellman specifically has it, how you can actually use some of their devices to work with like intercoms for apartments?
Yes. So, well, it looks similar to this, but it's called a doorbell transmitter. And the doorbell transmitter can work simply just as a doorbell. You push a button and it sends a signal. But especially here in New York, doorbells all sometimes are mechanical. So you can't splice the doorbell in to your existing doorbell. Most of those buttons would need to be replaced by a doorbell button. But the good thing about the device is that it can record a sound. So an example for the the intercom, for example, you would press a button for it to record that sound. And then the next time it hears that sound, i.e. when you push the button on the outside of the door, that signal will hear that for you and then send a signal to the receivers to flash a light or shake a shaker or whatever you have set up.
And then you could also wear a pager sometimes or a
Yes. And you can get the transmitter for your cell phone. So your cell phone will shake. And if you have a smartwatch attached, then your smartwatch will go off too when the Bluetooth goes off in the phone.
Before we do other questions, that's just a very good point that you brought up right there, Terrence, is that sometimes you can use whatever you have existing to just set up to work for you as alerting systems, like your smart phone or your smart watch may have alerting systems in it and things that you can set up. Sometimes if you already have like a home device, you can set that up with a light bulb that blinks, or you can do things that you may already have in existence in your house and not necessarily get other alerting systems outside. And so that's always important to find out as well, which kind of leads to this next question, which is there someone that can help me set these up or answer these questions?
Um, here at the center, we don't have assistance for installation, but again, the installation basically is you plug it into the wall. As long as you can plug the plug into the power outlet, you should be good to go. Packages that are ordered all work together. So, and each company has, packages that you can purchase for, if you need it for the door and the telephone, if you need it for the smoke and the doorbell and the telephone, if you need it for your cell phone, so you buy the package, and then when the package comes, it's all synced together, and then you plug it into the wall and it works.
So this leads to another question we got. Where do I purchase these devices?
So I gave links in doing the in the slideshow, and we can make sure that you get those links so that you can take a look at the different companies' websites.
So we'll provide the links to you, and then also we can put those links in the chat if possible, Carolyn, so that you can have those. And just a reminder, because this was in the chat as well, this is being recorded, so you will be able to get the recording if necessary. And then just so that we'll have some of those in the chat, some of the links, and then we'll also provide those links in the slideshow. And then another question is, does CHC provide guidance on devices and hearing aids? And is there a way to be seen in person regarding this?
Yes, we do set individual appointments for assistive technology, and for hearing aids. There are actually 2 separate appointments, and I think that's probably a good idea. We want to make sure that your hearing aids are up and running and working correctly, and it helps us to know what hearing aids you have, to know what technology can go along with your hearing aids. So yes, you can schedule an appointment for all of those things, and we'll be happy to help you figure out which accessories would work best for you. I don't this just hit into my head too, that your smartphone can also be an alerting device. Oh, thank you, Carolyn, for dropping that in the chat. Carolyn just dropped the links into the chat, so if you can take a look at that, you can see where to go to purchase some of these devices. Your cell phone can be used as an alerting device itself. There are sound recognition software, thank you, in your phone, so that you can tell your phone to let you know if someone's knocking at the door, if if there's a loud sound, if there's a dog barking, if there's a siren coming, all those kinds of things.
And then just to kind of piggyback on what Terrence was saying about services, we can always check existing hearing aids that you have. We just require a hearing test that's within the last 6 months, but we do provide hearing tests as well. So if you or someone you know needs a hearing test, you can do that. If you're unsure if you do need a full hearing test or have any difficulties with hearing, we do have a free hearing screening on our website, and you can always go on to that and check, and it'll tell you if you should follow up and get further testing. But if you already have hearing aids or are interested in hearing aids and have had a hearing test, feel free to send that over to us. We can review it, and then you can make an appointment for adjustments to your own hearing aid and discuss any assistive devices or alerting systems that would work best for you. This way we are fully informed on what would support you in your daily life with your hearing. I think one of our last questions might be, does CHC provide, can you try them out in person? Is that possible? And would that happen at any of these sessions?
If we know in advance that you would like to try some devices or what you're interested in needing, we can make that happen. But typically, the devices are not sold through the Center for Hearing and Communication. All of the companies that we've mentioned that sell the devices do have very generous return policies. So if you need to purchase the device after we do some talking about it, of course, you can always return if it doesn't work out for you. But at the center, it's hard to have all the different options available because, as we mentioned, it's such a customizable endeavor that it's hard to have what everybody would always need. So, but we're more than happy to talk and show and get stuff for you if you need help to do that.
And then there is one last question of, will CHC have any more sessions on devices?
Yes, our plan is to make this a more common occurrence and to have more videos and sessions available for people to view. We are probably going to be launching that in the next few months, so keep an eye out and we will definitely send a blast when it's available for you to see.
Thank you, Terrence. And as Terrence said, we're also working on videos that would explain each device so that you would actually have links that we can send to you if you need to send out to anyone or look for yourself. If there aren't any other questions, which I don't see any new ones in the Q&A, I'll give a couple of minutes just for people to try and put any in if they do. I would just like to say that we will be able to send out a recording and any supporting materials soon. I want to thank Terrence and our interpreters and Carolyn as well for this very informative session that hopefully will allow you to make life a little bit easier for yourself or those you know and have some options available. Again, if you have any questions, you can email us. The email is in the chat. It's info@chchearing.org. You can go on our website and click Ask the Expert and put your question in, or you can call our number and ask for Terrence. You can ask for myself, Michele DiStefano, or you can just say you need assistance with assistive devices and they'll be able to direct you. Thank you all for attending, and we appreciate that you attended on this rainy afternoon. And again, thank you, Terrence, and especially our interpreters.
Yes, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming.